What's going on, y'all? Trying something new, trying something a little bit different, but formats for videos, I'm trying something new. I've been away for a little while. It's time to sort of staying back, learning ways, being close so I can be closer to Him, following His path. And I come back. I've been off social media for a while, and I come back and I see all these people. There's been a lot of stuff going on recently. People falling to political situations, war situations, and people getting fallen to deceptions, mistaken commandments, doing the wrong things, just getting generally misguided. And so, for normally I've been keeping quiet until the Lord said it was time for me to speak. So, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to speak a little bit. And I'm gonna start with this, because so many people seem to be going astray. This has been sitting on my heart for a while. And I'm gonna start with this. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second one is just like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang the entire Torah and the prophets. But this is the thing. Those are Jesus' own words. But it's so simple. Two commandments. There's actually technically three. He brought up a third one too. Love one another as I have loved you. Simple. Simple 2, 3 commandments. Easy. Easy. And you notice the easiest one where so many people go astray. Love your neighbor as yourself. See, that's it. Period. Love your neighbor as yourself. Period. Simple. Notice how it says, love your neighbor as yourself, period. There's no caveats. And nowhere it says, love your neighbor as yourself unless they have the same creed as you, unless they have the same skin color as you, unless they have the same religion as you, unless they have the same faith as you, unless they're love the same type of people. No. Love your neighbor as yourself means to love them, period. That means you may not always agree with what they do, but to love the Lord your God is to see that because that person may be living a certain way, but to love them means you may not always like them, but you still have to love them and accept them, just as you would ask that they accept you, because we're not always perfect. Even me, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. But to say that, the simple commandment is to understand this. You got to love your neighbor as yourself, because nobody's going to agree on 100% of everything, period. So some place maybe you may like a different type of food. You may eat vegetarian, meat, carnivores. They may be black, white, yellow, brown, skin color. You might be gay, straight, married, single, no matter what. We might have our disagreements with that. But to love your neighbor as yourself, and how to love the Lord your God and love your neighbor as yourself, means to say that you can look at a person and say that you may believe a certain way, you may have this certain thought, you may go this, you may go to this church, I go to this church, you may go to this, you may like this food, I like this food, you may love this person, I may love this person, you may do whatever. There's so many things that separate us. But to say is, the understanding is this. We may not agree on everything, but to say that I see the Spirit of God in you. And so I may not always agree with your actions, but to say I see the Spirit of God in you. So I love that Spirit of God, so I accept you as my brother. I accept you as my sister. So I'm still going to pray for you. I still want the best for you. So that's what it truly means to love you, Lord your God, because you are loving the Spirit of God in each person, and you are accepting them just as you want them to accept you. If you live a certain way, you don't want people just all of a sudden randomly coming up there, coming up judging you for your actions. And this is why you shouldn't have judged anybody else, because you may see somebody pass somebody for what, 30 seconds, a minute, a couple minutes, and you have your own misconceived ideas about what they do. You don't know what that kind of person, what kind of relationship that person has with somebody behind the scenes. You don't know what kind of relationship that person has with God behind the scenes, because this is actually something that I was really getting caught up in this whole little rapture talk thing y'all been talking about, and I got a different video for that. I got some words for y'all for that. That's funny. I got some words for y'all for that one, but it's gonna come down to this. Just because you believe in something and somebody else believes in something else, like I said, this person, you don't know what somebody's about. You may judge somebody about their skin color. You may judge somebody about who they choose to love, their lifestyle. But you don't understand, because you might see somebody for 5 or 10 minutes in a day. But you don't know how the rest of that time is going. You don't know. You might be judging somebody for simply dressing a certain way, having tattoos. But you don't know is after that 5 minutes, that person could be going to a homeless shelter. That person could be going to operate in a soup kitchen. That person might be going to go help somebody in need, going to volunteer in their time at the hospital, making sacrifices to help their fellow man, to love their neighbor. And you think that you are holier than them because they may live just a slight different way than you do, that you understand? That's judging. That's judging. You're misunderstanding the guidances. And if you say that, that means the commandment of love your neighbor as yourself is not truly in you. And that's where people are going astray, because they think that their version of righteousness is different than others, and they think that their mindset and that their ways of judging other people is how God thinks. And no, it even says, my ways are not your ways, neither are my thoughts your thoughts, nor my ways your ways. So that means if you are judging somebody and saying that you may not agree with them, with their mindset, you don't know how that person has their relationship with God behind the scenes. So who are you to judge? Because if you can judge them, that means God and Jesus, in the time to come, he will judge you for your same thing. And it's just like it says, and this is a knowledge thing. You can sum up all of Jesus' commandments into one word. Technically 2, but we'll go into the second part later. That'll be for a different video. But to understand this, love. For love forgives a multitude of sins. And if you can choose to put away your own selfish desires and selfish ideals, to love somebody beyond what you may think is right and what you may understand, but to still love and to move forward in any way, and still say, I may not always like you, but I still love you. And I'm still going to choose to go out there and help you. But if not, I'll still say, hey, I love you, God bless you, I'll be praying for you, and you move on. That's love. That's non-biased love. But as soon as you start saying that you are different than me, so you are wrong, then that means you yourself are wrong. And we need to get past that mindset, y'all. Because the only way we're going to get this world back on track is if we get back to the commandments at the base ways. And I'm not talking about the teachings of the churches. I'm not talking about the teachings of everything else. I'm not talking about these biased, misguided understandings. I'm saying going back to one word, love. And then taking it back to those 2 commandments. Love your neighbor. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind and all your strength. And loving your neighbor as yourself. And to love and bring it all back together the same way Jesus taught. Love one another as I have loved you. So, I love you. I'll be praying for y'all. And I'll be talking to you again soon.